I want to share 3 stories with you. The stories of 3 USCCA members and responsible gun owners who are forced into completely different situations with their guns. The first story is about a guy named Bill Soule. Bill was handcuffed and arrested for driving with his firearm, something that you probably do every day. It was a normal morning, like any other, and Bill was driving to work. He had his gun with him just like every other day. Except this day was different. A car raced up behind him, tailgating him and looking for trouble. Bill felt the little jerk of his car and he knew that he'd been hit. So just like anyone would, he pulled over to the side of the road. But before he could get out to inspect the damage, he saw the 300-pound man who had hit him running towards him, reaching for his door handle. It was clear that this man was going to pull him out of the car, so Bill drove off. Now the aggressor got back in his own car and followed him. Shortly after, Bill saw the lights of a police officer behind him.
Police officer gets out and looks at me and says, "Sir, do you have a gun in your car?" I said, "Well, yes I do, it's up here." I said, "Need you to step out of the car, please." He said, "Have a seat on the curb." So I sat down on the curb. While I'm sitting on the curb, I feel somebody grab my arms and pull my arms behind me. And it's a female police officer. And I says, "What are you doing?" She says, "I'm handcuffing you." I said, "For what?" She goes, "You're under arrest." I said, "I'm under arrest for what?"
What Bill didn't realize is that the assailant had called the police and told them that he was waving a gun at him, even though it had never left his passenger side floorboard.
When I explained that to the police officer, he says, well, thing is, he called in and said you're pointing a handgun at him. And he said, "The fact that you have a handgun in your car is enough reason for me to arrest you."
And that's where the USCCA came in.
Thursday, bell went off in my head. Hey, you just bought this USCCA insurance. I wonder if they handle that type of situation. So I called them up. She goes, "They'll have that check written out today and you'll have it by Monday in the mail."
No one should be alone in a situation like that. The USCCA will be there for you and your family no matter what the circumstance. Whether you're forced to shoot someone in self-defense or if you're just like Bill, in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now that's the perfect lead into my next story, and that's a story of Buddy Shepard. You see, when Buddy was arrested, he wasn't in the wrong place at the wrong time. He was in his own home. Buddy is an Army veteran and USCCA member from Florida who thought that with his background in the military and law enforcement that he'd be ready and capable to deal with any dangerous situation. But when 3 trespassers put his family's safety in jeopardy, he got a rude awakening. It all started early in the day when Buddy began receiving threatening phone calls from his 16-year-old daughter's ex-boyfriend.
The threats that he made and other people that got on the phone towards me and my family were serious. So when it reached the point of me getting physically involved into it, I took it serious. I had to, because I was trying to protect my family.
That night, 3 people showed up at Buddy's house. An argument ensued in the darkness, which ended when Buddy heard someone scream that his daughter, Carla, had been hit.
When I heard that and I saw Carla walking back towards the house, I went back into the home, into my house, got my firearm, and I came out.
In a rushed attempt to protect his daughter, Buddy didn't holster his firearm when he left his house. But before he could confront the strangers, a car pulled up to his property.
When I got to here, a vehicle pulled off the side of the road. And I said, "Man, get gone from here and don't come back." The window goes down and says, "I'm not a man, I'm his mother." And she responded she was going to call the cops. And I said, "Fine, call them." 2 people come running down, jumped in the vehicle, and they were gone. And about 30 to 45 minutes later, the sheriff's office shows up.
Buddy was arrested in front of his wife and daughter and charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The minimum sentence would be 3 years in prison. So that's when Buddy called us.
It just hit me. I need to call USCCA.
My name is Corey Feeble, and I'm the director of the USCCA Critical Response Team. My role is to facilitate members that might be involved in a self-defense related incident. I received the call from Buddy. It was December 18th, 2015. It was about 12:30 in the afternoon. He gave me a call and advised me that he was involved in an incident that happened about 3 days prior.
It didn't dawn on me until that point, after I was released, that, this organization that you'd made, had been a member of for just over a month could do the things that they were willing to do.
He had an attorney that he was interested in using. He just wasn't sure about the means to pay for that attorney. And my thought was right away to calm him down and let him know, your USCCA benefits have you covered. We're going to get you through this. Once you sign up, once you become a member, you're immediately covered. It doesn't make a difference if you've been a member for 30 days or 10 years.
After only 1 month of membership and only one payment of $13, the USCCA Critical Response Team was able to get Buddy the help his family needed. The second you activate your membership, your benefits are active. Buddy was cleared of all charges and the USCCA paid his bail and lawyer fees in full. As a USCCA member, the Critical Response Team is there to walk you through the devastating aftermath of a self-defense incident 24/7, 365 days a year. Whether it's telling you what to say when the police arrive, finding you the best pro-Second Amendment attorney, or getting your legal fees paid, you are not alone. Now, all that happened to Buddy on his own property, and he never had to pull the trigger. But our third USCCA member, David Jackson, well, he wasn't so lucky. When two masked thugs entered his local barbershop looking for easy targets and fast cash, he was forced to shoot in self-defense.
Nothing seemed different about that day. It was a normal day. Two guys came in, and one was holding a long shotgun. The other one was holding a handgun. They had hoodies and masks on. The guy with the handgun walked to the back and started from the back getting everybody's money. And meanwhile, the guy with the shotgun was kind of like put the gun right on his head, right the shotgun right on Chauncey's head, and I kind of like tensed up because I could have sworn that he was going to just take him out right there, man, you know. And that's when I asked him, you know, I said, my kids are here, please don't shoot. David pleaded with the robbers not to shoot for the sake of his kids who were watching in horror just a few feet away. But as the gunmen got closer, David was forced to make a split-second decision. Should he draw his firearm even though he was outnumbered 2-1? David looked at his kids, frozen in terror, and he knew what he had to do. And as he was coming back this way, he was patting everybody down, and I realized that I had my firearm on me, and I didn't want him to pat me down. So I said, you know, hey, my money is over there in my bag, in my jacket on the seats, and he went looking for it. And when I had the opportunity, I took it to shoot, you know, so I shot him. Unfortunately, he ran out and crossed the street and collapsed and died. Startled, the second gunman fled, with David's next shot missing him by an inch, maybe two. David called 911 and the police brought him in for questioning. I contacted USCCA when I got to the police station. The first thing I did was, you know, I recorded a statement, and then I sat down and contacted USCCA and I told them what happened. And I spoke to a lady. It was like, you know, like I'm calling somebody's house. It wasn't even like a normal prompt, oh, press 1 for this, press 2 for that. No, I got right through. You're going to reach someone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that knows what to do in this situation, that's immediately going to respond, that has all the resources and all the information with them. You're not calling a call center where they're going to have to take a message and find a phone tree. You're getting someone that has all this information available at their fingertips. When David called, I immediately jumped into action, and I became his advocate to get him the resources he needed. I made sure he was safe, made sure that 911 was called, and just made sure that if he needed medical treatment, he was receiving that as well. She said she'd have a lawyer call me. A lawyer called me about 5 or 10 minutes later. Within minutes, I had an attorney on the phone with David and walking him through the process and what he should and should not say to the police until he was able to arrive on scene. Without the USCCA, I probably would have been nervous and afraid that I might be going to jail for a little bit till they clear this up. It's just the comfort of having a lawyer, you know, at your call when you need them. The USCCA provided me one of the best lawyers in the state of South Carolina, and he actually specializes in police officers discharging their firearms, so this is his specialty. Although David was never charged with a crime, the USCCA was still with him every step of the way. You see, it doesn't matter how clean-cut you think your case may be, you'll still be brought in for questioning, which means lawyer fees and bail money your family shouldn't have to pay. Well, if someone carrying a firearm concealed without any type of insurance, I would tell them they're playing Russian roulette. You know, not only even if they shoot somebody legally, right? You have to worry about consequences of being sued. USCCA even covers that. You know, I get emails, I check my email. I look forward to the emails actually from USCCA every day.
You know, unfortunately, situations like this happen all of the time, and the deck's already stacked against you as a responsibly armed American. The good news is there's something you can do about it, but we can't help you if you're not a member.
I felt like I was able to do the right thing and be protected, you know what I mean, as a law-abiding citizen, you know. And if you're responsible and you do the right thing, and a situation like that occurs, you should be able to defend yourself and not have to worry about going to jail or even spending the night in jail, or what am I going to do about a lawyer and such. And USCCA provides that for you.
So without the USCCA insurance, I've pretty much been in hot water.
And as long as I'm staying on this side of the dirt, I'm gonna be a member. People think that it's never gonna happen to them. Just look at the environment we live in today and tell me if it's never gonna happen to you, and you can prove it's never gonna happen to you.